Some believe the future is written in ink that never fades, but they never ask what happens to the blank spaces left on the page.
In a plague-stricken valley, a quiet clockmaker named Julian could restore any stopped heart, simply by winding the silver life clocks of the town's dying children.
He never demanded a single coin for his miraculous repairs, but a large grandfather clock in his shop mysteriously lost one brass gear every time a life was saved.
The townspeople rejoiced, yet a strange pattern emerged among those Julian rescued. They never seemed to grow a day older, and within months they would vanish from the valley entirely.
One morning, a young girl stared at the clockmaker with wide, frightened eyes and asked why his dark hair had turned completely grey overnight.
Julian brushed off her concern, but when he looked into his brass mirror, his reflection showed a man decades older than his calendar years.
In the back of his shop lay a heavy, leather-bound ledger where he carefully wrote the names of the saved, claiming they were debts of tomorrow's owed that he would someday reclaim. Yet Julian never reclaimed a single hour, leaving the town to wonder who was truly paying the price for his endless mercy. The plague worsened, and soon Julian's shop was besieged by desperate souls clutching their fading wooden and metal life clocks.
With every turn of his winding key, another clock chimed back to life, but another gear in his own workshop fell to the floor with a heavy clatter.
Late one stormy night, a mother burst through his door, carrying her freezing, unresponsive boy, begging for one last miracle. Julian took the boy's rusted, motionless toy clock, but as he examined the gears, his face paled. This child was far too sick to have any future left to borrow.
The trade required an unlived future to pay the toll, and with none left in the boy, the trade took the only source remaining. In that final, terrible twist of the key, Julian willingly surrendered every tomorrow he had left to live.
When the sun rose, the boy opened his eyes, fully cured and warm. But the clockmaker's massive workbench clock had finally stopped ticking forever. Some swear the magic was real, that Julian spent his vital essence to buy the boy's life, his soul vanishing the moment the trade was sealed. But others say he was merely an exhausted, selfless man who gave away his health and meager savings to the poor, dying early, penniless and forgotten. They say the story of the life clocks was just a beautiful lie the town invented, to ease the guilt of letting their only savior perish in the cold. If you could trade your unlived tomorrows to save someone today, would you sign your name in the book? Or let their clock run out? I once thought I could write my own tomorrows, and now I have to live them all at once. The ink on Julian's page is dry, but yours is still wet. Sleep well before your time runs out.